College basketball on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by AT&T 5G. Fast, reliable, secure.
Brevard County, 72 miles of beaches. It's a beautiful part of the state of Florida. We're glad to be with you for the Space Coast Challenge here. Our lineups tonight for Liberty. Watch out for Darius McGee, long-range threat, hit a team-best 68 threes a year ago. And same for Purdue's Sasha Stefanovic. Hit 64 triples last season, led Purdue in scoring 6 times. A returning starter from last year's Purdue team that won 16 games. Liberty won 30 games a year ago, a school record, including the ASUN Tournament Championship over Lipscomb, closing their Fine Center Arena in style after 30 years. New building for Liberty this year, but here they're at the Titan Fieldhouse in Melbourne, Florida. Dave Ryan alongside Bob Wenzel, watching Purdue and the home whites of the Big Ten. Liberty in the visiting unis of the ASUN. And here we go to begin the 2021 college basketball season in Melbourne, Florida. First possession for the Flames.
Liberty lost a lot from last year, and they won 30 games, as you mentioned, and they would definitely have been in the NCAA tournament and got a reasonable seed. Purdue, of course, usually in the top 25 to begin every single season. Last year, they were 23 to start the season. This year, unranked at the beginning of the year.
First bucket for Micaiah Abi, freshman forward. Frisco, Texas, the Dallas area. Thompson hits from the right side.
You talk about excellent passing post people. Travion Williams is one of the best in the nation in doing that, and we saw that immediately. Liberty is going to double the best player on the floor, and his passing ability will be something to watch in this game.
McGee can't quite convert this time. A three from the left side. Stefanovic has a weak side rebound. Here comes Purdue on the move. Aaron Wheeler, 9 starts last year. Williams, Bob talked about the open. He is a freight train down low. Here he is, establishing position. His first shot of the season. The jump hook is a little strong on the right baseline.
Pretty good defense there by Abi, pushing him away from the basket. Abi is no slouch himself at 265. He with the ball right there. Only a freshman.
Brand new look really for each team. A lot of new players. Here's Chris Parker, transfer from Henderson State. He's going to go long range. Abi's off to a great start with a couple of buckets.
Well, his defensive assignment is the most important one in this game. Look at this double and triple teaming inside.
Williams travel. Turns it back over the Flames. Rich McKay, head coach, second stint at Liberty, also the head coach at New Mexico, Oregon State, Colorado State, Portland State, a Dick Bennett disciple, longtime assistant at Virginia for Tony Bennett. And he told us this week, Bob, he has a master's degree in the pack line defense. He has mastered that, to be sure, and they are very tough to score on.
53 points per game given up last year, second in the nation. And of course, they don't turn the ball over much either. So they are a possession-for-possession kind of team. Purdue likes to play a little bit faster. Second turnover in a row for Travion Williams right there on the travel.
Matt Painter tells us taking things one day at a time in the era of COVID. Just win the day, he said. He said this week on our Zoom call. Sometimes I feel like I'm dealing with elementary school kids. All right, guys, stay safe and win the day. But you know what? That's a good message, I think, even to college athletes, right?
He has been fantastic at Purdue. He played at Purdue also, and Kwanzo Martin, whose son is on Purdue's team, the coach of Missouri, they were teammates at Purdue. He has been fabulous in his 15th year at Purdue. They win all the time.
Keegan McDowell, first time for Liberty. That's Parker. B has got all 5 flame points so far. Here's the transfer. Parker on the bounce to a B. The lefty Cuffey. There's 7 to shoot. Parker for Elijah Cuffey. Ball movement, long 3, back iron miss. First attempt of the game for Keegan McDowell. He's a redshirt junior from Cincinnati. Purdue in transition, trying a 3 to whistle down low, and a holding foul early here against Liberty.
You know, Williams, Dave, is an interesting situation because he's all Big Ten, but he only averaged 21 minutes a game last year, and he shared the post position with Haas, who transferred to BYU. So it'll be interesting. Matt Painter told us he's got to get up to the 35 minutes. The problem, of course, with that is if he's going to get into foul trouble and what his conditioning is like. So it's going to be new for him this year, even though he's an outstanding player.
Blake Preston, first playing time here, coach, for Liberty as well. Right on cue. Williams, the position, right low block, but way long on the jump hook and air ball.
So far, going over his left shoulder, he has been unproductive so far. He's much better with his back to the basket, faking that way and going the other way. Liberty has scouted beautifully. They bodied up on him, made him shoot a jump hook.
McDowell on the backdoor cut. Preston trying to hit him, but instead broken up. And here's Purdue. Williams trying to get on track a little bit here. Drive the basket for two for Purdue, and Brandon Newman, the redshirt freshman guard.
Yeah, 6'5" from Valparaiso. He can shoot it. They were expecting him to play last year, but did not. So this is his first action in games, real games.
Runner-up, Mr. Basketball, state of Indiana, the high school senior 2 years ago. Parker seeing a lot of run here early for Liberty. McDowell fakes a three, takes a two instead, way off the mark.
Parker's an interesting story. He's transferred from Henderson State University, where he averaged 15 points per game. So number one in red is a guy who's going to get shots up for sure.
Thompson in an early three.
Inside out is the name of the game for Purdue. They want to take it to the basket like that, or post up Williams, and then if you double team, then they'll shoot the three.
And one for Newman, coach. Free throw coming up when we return.
Newman on the move. Get that in the hoop. Nicely done.
Just underway, opening night here in Melbourne, Florida. Purdue and Liberty. Space Coast Challenge here on CBS Sports Network. A moment ago, Newman foul, chance for a three-point play. Coming in for the first time. Well, here he is, coach. Zak Edey, 7'4". This year makes 9 straight seasons now that Matt Painter's Boilermakers have had at least one 7-footer on the roster.
Yeah, and last year, I was talking about how Williams split time and he only averaged 21 minutes. The other guy on that team was Matt Harms, and now Edey is taking his place, much less of an experienced player, has only been playing basketball for about 3 years. And the guy before Harms was Isaac Haas. So big 7-footers in the last 8 years for Purdue. I'm very interested, aren't you, Dave, to see how this guy operates?
Absolutely. Brandon Newman does complete the three-point play there. Bob, good news for Purdue out of the commercial break. Tallest player, Purdue history, 7'4". Good back cut McDowell.
Well, Stefanovic got beat because he was staring at the basketball, and a back cut will do it every time. When you watch Liberty play, they play a lot like Virginia. You mentioned the pack line defense. They don't pressure the ball that much. They stay, when you're guarding the man with the ball, you stay between him and the basket.
Hey, there he is, the big guy with a touch of the hammer. How about Zak Edey's first attempt is a dunk. Doesn't have to reach that ball up with an incredible frame. His first two is the Boilermaker.
IMG Academy, originally from Canada. And Matt Painter was honest with us. He said he is surprised at how well this young man has developed. And he wasn't planning on him playing that much, but feels like he's going to be a big, if I can say that, addition to the team this year. You can say that.
14 of 60 in the scrimmages from the field and the practices they had leading up to this opener here in Melbourne, Florida. McGee gets going. First bucket for Darius McGee, the junior. Averaged about 10 points a game last year for Liberty.
Yeah, and he was a 3,000-point scorer in high school. Shot 36%. Leading returning scorer, but with Parker in there, they're going to have to share those shots.
Doing a good start. Jaden Ivey's first touch and fouling way to the basket. Niel Ivey is the brand new head coach at Notre Dame, replacing the legend Muffin McGraw.
Let's take a look at Edey. Watch him on the weak side of your screen. Gets up, lands, goes right back up. Didn't have to gather himself, so very good footwork. We watched him in the before the game in the shoot-around times, and He was working on his back to the basket moves. Williams has been a guy who has worked with him and kind of been a mentor for him. So big things expected from Edey this year in the Big Ten Conference.
One more free throw for Jaden Ivey. 102. And he's got his hand rebound. Up high slam for Zak Edey. 2 touches and 2 big dunks for the freshman making his collegiate debut tonight. And Matt Painter told us, coach, that he played a little baseball and hockey up and through high school. How about that?
Well, at baseball, he'd have a very, very large strike zone.
Put him on the mound, I think. Yeah. Just pitching. That's what I think. Wow. Kyle Road hit long-range shot on the left wing for Liberty.
Well, the post players from Liberty are going to take the ball on the perimeter, on the outside, especially when Edey's guarding them. His ability to defend on the perimeter has to be questioned at this time of his career. And here we get a 3-second count on Edey. He's going to plant himself as close to the basket as possible. Let's take a look at this offensive rebound right here. On the missed free throw, he was able to get it. In no rush are the Liberty Flames. They want to get a good quality shot no matter when it comes in the shot clock. But look, all 5 guys are outside the 3-point line when Edey is in the game. He's going to have a tough time guarding those guys away from the basket.
Way too strong for Elijah Cuffey. Rebound for Mason Gillis, getting his first time here for Purdue. Ivey the drive off the glass and in. Offensive foul.
No, I thought they called a block. The players are running to the other end, so you're probably right. Very, very highly recruited guy here. He takes the ball to the basket strongly. Good help side defense. That's part of the pack line. Another part of the pack line defense is getting back. Don't go to the offensive boards much, so your opponent has to play 5-on-5 from the 3-point line and in.
Drake Dobbs, Mr. Basketball finalist state of Minnesota, gets his first appearance. Love the blue shoes. It's a good look. McGee on the right side, launching a 3 too strong. Edey, well, it's 7-4, up high for another rebound for Purdue. It looks great early.
Yeah, he really does. And whether they're going to play he and Williams together in this game or not, I kind of doubt it. But during the course of the season in the Big Ten, believe me, he will be in there. 3 for 3.
Looks easy, Bob Wenzel.
You are in love with this guy,
wow.
Man. I can hear your voice get higher and higher every time you say Edey. You love these big guys.
Exciting. I'm sure the folks in West Lafayette are pretty pumped too watching him play.
You got that right.
Kick out the long-range shot is way off the mark. Shiloh Robinson getting playing time here for Liberty.
So far, Jaden Ivey has taken the ball to the basket every time he has touched it. Very anxious to get going, this Jaden. He's going to be a very, very good player for this team. Can play the point or the wing. Here he is with the basketball. Highly educated, as you said. His mom a coach. How about the big guy on the perimeter? Don't put it on the floor out there.
Stefanovic, very comfortable beyond the arc, and nails a long 3, his first points of the new season for Purdue.
38% from downtown last year. He is a very, very good shooter and an experienced player.
Dodd fouled on the way to the basket. Timeout in Melbourne, Florida, underway in a good game between Purdue and the Big Ten and Liberty of the A-Sun. The new season is here at last.
How would you like to start your college career? How about like this, with a dunk on a lob play? And how about this, length on a missed free throw, second dunk in a row, and then using his footwork to score close to the basket. Zak Edey, 3 for 3, 7'4", 285-pound center, as a freshman doing the job for Matt Painter in his first game.
Purdue has had a player, Bob, 7'2" or taller, 7 straight years.
Isaac Haas and Matt Harms are the 2 guys who have been in those seasons. And right here we get a foul on Edey. They were just checking the clock on that particular play. See how much time we have left. 15, 14, 13.
3-point numbers so far, points in the paint. Well, thanks to Edey and company, it's all Boilers right now. But long-range shot again from a B who's really been good in his Liberty debut, hits another one. Give him 2 threes on the game here tonight.
He is fired up to play against Travion Williams. Travion back in for Edey, and look at this pass.
What a take. It's Ivey for 2.
Matt Painter said that Travion Williams is the best passer he's ever had as a coach. I said, whoa, whoa, whoa. What about Carson Edwards? He says, I meant as the big man.
Right.
And
he did clarify that, didn't he?
He has great vision and the willingness to make passes. He is an excellent. He's the kind of guy you like to play with.
Here's McGee. Long range shot. Can't click, but a B. Has the weak side rebound out to Shiloh Robinson. New faces, new places for Liberty this year. And the newcomers, Dobbs runs the show now. McGee, as we talked about, a key 3-point ace on their ASUN tournament championship run last year. But not so much tonight. Williams rebound.
Holmesley was great for them last year. He's signed with the Wizards. James and Ortiz were also terrific.
Ivey hits. And a chance for a 3-point play here, Bob.
He is an offensive machine. He wants to get the ball up. Right there, 2 single screens, off balance, makes the shot. And he'll have an opportunity at the free throw line where he missed his first one. This guy was a big-time recruit. Everybody in the Big Ten was after him. Decided to come to West Lafayette and play for Matt Painter. And he is going to have a very, very good career.
Indiana, Notre Dame, Butler, Ohio State, among many, a 4-star high school recruit that wanted Jaden Ivey. And we talked about Mondial taking over for Muffet McGraw. Head coach at Notre Dame after a year as an assistant in the NBA with the Memphis Grizzlies. What a resume Niele Ivey has. Part of 6 Final Fours and championship game appearances for the Notre Dame women's program. So what a family tradition for the Ivy. Pretty cool. McGee needs some help. Gets it with a long pass and rode the long shot, second 3.
Well, this is the pick and pop situations. If you double somebody coming off the screen, their post players are going to be lining up at the 3-point line. And so far, it's been productive.
Williams, the high post touch off for Ivey, who's been just outstanding starting this game tonight. McDowell has a defensive glass for Liberty. This is not a team that's going to run and gun. They'd love to hold you to 54 points a game or so as they did last year.
Yeah, and that was outstanding. And it's part of it is the offense, part of it is the defense. But they do not hold the ball. I mean, they're going to run stuff and try to score whenever they can.
Speaking of scoring, how about Micaiah B here, Bob, in his debut for Liberty?
I'll tell you what, he's doing the job against Williams. Williams is not used to guarding a guy on the perimeter like that. And he has been inside, outside so far in this game.
B 4 for 4 from the field to begin his Liberty career in style. Not bad, I'd say.
Double team on Williams. Double team again on Williams.
Ivey for 3. Flash.
Well, I'll tell you what, he has shown dribble to the basket. He has shown no hesitation for offense right now. Big-time scorer in high school. He is jacked up about playing his first game, that's for sure.
In his first 3 shots as a Boilermaker, not bad. B has been red hot. He checked, no way! How about it from long range again? For Micaiah B, the freshman forward out of Frisco, Texas, is perfect tonight for Liberty. Wow. Gillis for Williams. Thought we might have some rust for some of these guys. There's the heat check and a short shot from Ivey that might have been rushed, his first miss as a college player.
Well, McDowell and Rote are in there at the same time with Abi. So you've got some guys that have size on the perimeter that can handle the ball. Right here, you see them all outside the 3-point line. That leaves the back door available.
Parker on the bounce. Micaiah B, 5 to shoot. Airmail with the pass intended for McDowell, turns it over.
I think with B, I think that they should not double team him in the post. I don't think he's a great passer as a young player. But so far, his offense has been outstanding.
Micaiah B has been quite a story, Bob went so early tonight.
I'll tell you what, 5 for 5 from the field. He took early Williams on the outside. Pump fake right here, shoots it from the outside. He has also shown some ability with his back to the basket, but the perimeter shooting has been his chief source of scoring so far in this game. Only a freshman, 6'8", 250 pounds, and he's got 12 points already in the game, has not missed a shot.
Two-star high school recruit. He went to Liberty High School and then eventually goes to Liberty University in Lynchburg, Virginia. And quite a story. You know, Richie McKay told us in our Zoom call, the head coach of Liberty this week, Bob, I'm not sure how my young guys are going to respond. Well, the answer is so far so good.
You got that right. And you said a two-star recruit. There must be something wrong with that system of evaluating, because this guy's a player.
Sure is. Trevion Williams, team's leading returning scorer for Purdue, trying to get it going here. It's had a really slow start, and misses that reverse layup.
Preston's doing a good job on him, bodying him up, pushing him along the baseline where he's got no angle to the basket.
0 for 3 so far for Williams. All Big Ten preseason pick for the Boilers. Parker, the transfer from Division II Henderson State. Off for McDowell, thinking about a long-range shot. Williams, a hand on the rebound. Good hustle. Down low, and they kept it alive. A great effort there from Blake Preston of Liberty.
Parker with the basketball can go.
Under 10 to shoot. Kyle Rode hit a couple threes early. Preston way short. And a shot clock violation, does not hit the rim.
You could hear the bench of Liberty shouting out 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 on the shot clock. And of course, when they go deep into the shot clock, it's important to know that. Sometimes guys fall asleep and they're not watching. Richie McKay, of course, you mentioned, 6 years as an assistant at Virginia. Of course, their system is the same.
Who's back in? Zak Edey hits another shot, the and one for the freshman. And this extraordinary debut for the 7'4", Zak Edey continues. A chance for a three-point play. He's hit all of his shots so far tonight.
Now, which of the centers on Purdue is first team all Big Ten? It's not Zak Edey, it's Williams, but Edey so far is showing big time. Let's take a look at what his free throw shooting looks like. If he's good at this, he's going to be a player.
I'm not sure we want to face this guy. 4 for 4 from the field. Hits the free throw for 9 points. So the freshman, a huge headline early here for Micaiah B. of Liberty and Zak Edey of Purdue.
I asked Painter whether he was more like Harms or more like Haas, and he said he's more like Haas, who was much more physical than Harms. 285.
Wow. I love the way he moved. McDowell, speaking of moving on that backside baseline, is thrown away and out of bounds.
I think Liberty's a good team. In the Atlantic Sun, you know, they've only been in the league for 2 years, and they've won the regular season and postseason conference tournament both of those years.
You can see it. Clemson, Mississippi State coming up, then UCLA and San Diego State. Bruins ranked number 22 from McDonough. It's all on the way tonight on CBS Sports Network. A lot of hoops still on the way. We're on top for a long-range shot for Purdue.
Well, we should mention that Purdue is without Eric Hunter and Ethan Morton, who are two of their best guards. Hunter was a 10-point per game last year, played more minutes than anybody in a Purdue uniform. And Morton is the freshman who was the player of the year in Pennsylvania. So they are inexperienced in the backcourt right now.
Drive the basket, except for Blake Preston, the redshirt sophomore forward. Had 14 games, no starts last year for Liberty. A role player, but all the roles are changing now, coming off the school record-setting 30-win season for the Flames.
So you were there when they won the Atlantic Sun tournament championship, and I'm sure you know this team very, very well because of that. And stylistically, they're doing the same thing as they did last year. The personnel is somewhat different.
Edey's second foul, coach. That's off the ball, battling for position in the paint. You're right. I had a chance to call a game on radio with our Steve Wolf, and it was just a blast. They just blew the roof off the Vine Center in the final game in that arena. Of course, it's pre-COVID, Bob, but yes, they stormed the court and celebrated. And then brand new Liberty Arena, which sits about 4,500, right next door. We were there in March. They were just finishing the construction. It's done now. Pictures and the renderings we've seen look fantastic, and we hope that a lot of fans can go to games soon, right?
Well, they're going to be opening next week. December 2nd is the first game there. So congratulations. It's a 4,000-seat arena. That's all they need. You want it to be packed. You don't want too many seats.
No fans to begin things. But down the road, once we get a little safer with COVID, hopefully a chance for the fans to really enjoy that. Newman hits another shot there for Purdue.
Well, that's an inside-outside play, which is exactly what Matt Painter wants. I don't think he likes guys jacking threes too early, unless it's a guy like Ryan Klein, who was great for them when they almost made the Final Four a couple of years ago against Virginia, actually.
McDowell long-range shot in the corner for Liberty.
Inside out is the name of the game for the Boilermakers. They're going to handle it and have Williams touch the ball whenever he's in there.
Overplay, McGee, steal, blocked. The recovery, what a play from Newman. And it's kept alive by Purdue. Good effort. Stefanovic back to Newman. Here come the Boilers. Wheeler thinking a long-range shot in transition. Back iron miss from three. Williams the cleanup, but again a miss for Trevion Williams, and then a foul call on the rebound. A break here in Melbourne, Florida. Getting physical. Purdue has a lead on Liberty by 6. Coming up here on CBS Sports Network, AT&T at the half. A lot going on, Bob, in college basketball. There have been plenty of games postponed or canceled. I think I read 150 were affected this week by COVID, but a lot of great games going on today, including some top 25 teams.
Well, we talked to Richie McKay about that on the Zoom call, and you brought it up to him, and he had an interesting thing to say. He said that instead of worrying about all that, he said he is being in the lane of gratitude. In the lane of, I love that, in the lane of gratitude. He's happy that the season is going on. He's hopeful for his team. He wants to accentuate the positive, and I mean, we need that kind of thing during times like this. And he really caught my attention with that view.
Totally agree with that. AT&T 5G at the half is coming up. When we wrap up the opening 20 from here in Melbourne, Florida, a minutes for Liberty and Parker, a chance here in the half court for Purdue. Stefanovic has been quiet, so is Williams. High-low play, trying to get in the rock. Gathers a foul, and some free throws here coming up.
Well, Trevion Williams has been absent from the offense, and they still have the lead, which is good news for Purdue. And in his place, Edey has been fantastic. So the two freshman centers on either team, Abi and Edey, have been very, very important to their teams here early.
2 fouls coach on Abi, who's been so sensational for Richie McKay in the first half for Liberty. One more free throw for Williams.
That's decision time now. If he's got 2 fouls, I would take him out here. Shiloh Robinson can come in and do the job for them, and that's what he does. Let's see if Williams backs up on his free throw here. That free throw, he went back on his heels, and that usually is a form. See how he stayed up on his toes that time? That's what you want to do. When you fade on a free throw, and you go back on your heels before the ball hits the rim, you're usually going to hit front and miss.
Abi is out, as you correctly predicted. Richie McKay would do. First point of the night for Williams.
And I'm going to check on your free throw tomorrow when we are out there to make sure you are up on your toes and you're paying attention to what I'm telling you.
I'm very coachable, don't worry. Wheeler a steal, coast to coast, and he lays it in. Aaron Wheeler of Purdue cashes in on the turnover.
Wheeler played a lot last year. He's 6'9" from Connecticut, 205, but he shot the ball poorly, and it kind of got to his confidence. And I think they're hoping that he gets off to a little bit better start this year.
A handle for Shiloh Robinson. Trying that back cut to get the basketball to Kyle Rose at a couple threes in this game.
They'll get a reset. 20 seconds on the shot clock now for the Flames.
Suddenly down by 9. I totally agree with you. The scoreless streak, about 3 minutes now for Liberty. The fact that Williams has not been a factor and they have a near double-figure lead has got to make Purdue fans pretty happy right now.
Yeah, and they're tough on D. I mean, Purdue always is tough on D. They play man-to-man all the time. And in talking to Painter, you know, he said, you know, if they control the tempo, then they control the tempo. We can't do anything about that. We just have to play our normal game. And when a team controls tempo against you, which really hasn't happened that much in the first half, but the score in the 20s is a little bit indicative. And he said that we have to play against that. There are teams that we have to play against that, and we're used to that. We've played Virginia twice in the last couple of years, so it's not like this has come out of the blue for them. So, so far, so good for Matt Painter, especially with Eric Hunter out and with Ethan Morton out, 2 terrific guards.
Parker, it's the free throws there. First points of his Liberty career, the senior transfer from Division II Henderson State. By the way, they are the Reddies. That's the nickname, Reddies.
Ah, that's a bit of information.
Arkadelphia, Arkansas.
Yeah.
Just want to make sure we have that.
Well, thank you for that. I know that he averaged 15.3 points a game
And
there.
Matt Painter was concerned about him. In our
Absolutely.
He was worried a little bit watching film of Parker at Division II Henderson State. Pretty cool. A brand new season. No preseason games, no exhibition games, no scrimmages, and of course the non-conference schedule reduced dramatically due to COVID this year. But you know what? College basketball is back, and we are so happy to have it for you on CBS Sports Network tonight. Williams, 6 to shoot here, Bob.
How about the 5 and the 4-man working together right here?
Trevion Williams lost the ball. Pretty good defense down low from Kyle Rowe, but maybe a little too physical, commits the foul.
This is UVA defense, too. I mean, a lot of times, University of Virginia, they body up on you. These guys are strong in there. They're not overly tall, but strong. Look at the bump. Watch the bump again. That's 2 bumps, 3 bumps. Finally, the ref calls it on his hands. He tries to fake that his hands went straight up in the air, but they did not.
17 fouls, Liberty, 1-1 here for Trevion Williams, and the first foul of the night on Kyle Rowe, the sophomore from Lexington, Kentucky, for Liberty. Tough night for Williams continues, Bob.
Yeah, you know, he's not making free throws. He's not exploding. They're doing a good job defensively before he catches the ball. He's not catching the ball too low, so he's got to put it on the floor. They're double teaming him.
Does have 1 point, does have 5 rebounds and 4 assists in this game. That's impressive. There's an impressive shot from McGee as he splashes a deep three from the left wing, his first triple of what Liberty fans hope will be many this season.
Yeah, he's an unselfish player, and he's coming back. I think you mentioned he averaged nearly 10 a game last year on a team that won 30 games. A lot of screens off the ball and a lot of drives to the basket right here.
Out of bounds, and who's got it?
Darius McGee. Look on the left side of your screen. The pass is right on the money. The shot is challenged, and he makes it anyway. So McGee is playing off the ball, and Parker is playing with the ball mostly right here, which is a little bit surprising.
Foul off the ball. Stefanovic on the inbound play picks up his first there for Purdue. And Richie McKay's message in our Zoom call was that for sure it's going to be McGee and Elijah Cuffey, and beyond that, he was going to mix and match and work different aspects of his lineup without the exhibition games and limited workouts and the non-conference games they just normally would have. It's a different season for sure.
He said that it's going to be trial and error, was his quote. I hope there's a lot more trial than error.
Parker kicks it to the corner. There's McGee on the baseline. Everything but go down for Darius McGee. It's out of bounds. And a whistle with 44.2 seconds to go in our first half here in Melbourne, Florida.
Rode is a glue guy. He is strong and physical. Has everything out there that you would want from a forward. Look at his body. I mean, he is an upper strength player. And they are really excited about him. He's only a sophomore, 6'7", 220. High hopes for him.
Picked up his second foul there, Coach, on the rebounding effort. Coach McKay called him an old school guy, tough and versatile, hard-nosed player.
Yeah. Last year they played in the Bahamas, and he was the MVP of the tournament. So Richie McKay very, very happy about his development so far.
A little chewing gum on the floor, apparently. Got to get that off the court, Coach.
Yeah, definitely.
2 fouls. Rode takes a seat.
You know, sometimes you go to some place that you're not accustomed to going to, and the floor gets wet. It's too, you know, there's issues. Eastern Florida, I'm told, has been done an excellent job with everything. You know, with the testing of players and the court. You know, there's no fans here for the tournament at all, and so far so good.
Front end miss there, Coach. Wheeler on the 1-and-1 for Purdue. So there you see the shot clock, game clock differential here in our first half. From the Titan Fieldhouse, McGee, that is a deep, and I mean deep three beyond all 3 three-point lines in this Fieldhouse. And he can't quite click from long range.
Well, fouling can be something offensive right here because Purdue's getting to the line and they're not making them.
Timeout call by Purdue. Want to set things up here at 23.1 to go in the first half. All right, Bob, timeout call by Matt Painter. What's he thinking about here?
Well, he's got to use the timeout because he didn't use it. You lose one in the first half. And I don't think getting the ball to the Williams is advisable here because he hasn't played well so far in the game. I think he's just going to run his normal stuff. He's warning his guys not to foul on a missed shot right here. You don't want to get the other team to the free throw line at all. They can get quality shots, that's for sure.
See the drop for Purdue, 2.5 and counting, with 15 seconds to go in the opening half and 13 on the shot clock here for Ivey up top.
Looks like Ivey's going one-on-one here.
Williams,
the handoff.
Stefanovic with 5 seconds and 3 to shoot. Wheeler cans a long three. Aaron Wheeler, a triple. There's the horn and the opening 20 bombs in the books.
That is shocking because I don't think that was a setup for Wheeler. They just ran their stuff and he happened to be the guy because he's not a great three-point shooter, but they needed it.
1/2 complete Space Coast Challenge here in Melbourne, Florida. Coming up after the break, it's the AT&T 5G at the half. The studio will take over and tell us about opening night in college basketball. 39-32, Purdue, the Big Ten, leading Liberty of the ASUN. First ever matchup between these programs here at the Space Coast Challenge in Melbourne, Florida. Dave and Bob with you in the studio in Fort Lauderdale. And Zak Edey, Micaiah Abee, coach, have been a huge story. The freshman sensations in this first half. Combined, well, they've got 4 for 4 for Edey, 9 points. Abee is 5 for 5 and 12 points, haven't missed a shot. Not a bad debut.
And Abee would have been better, but he had 2 fouls and he went to the bench and he would have played a little bit more minutes had that not happened.
Yeah. So first half, first game of the year, what are your impressions?
Well, Purdue is very good in the paint, and we're going to show you some of this, okay? Drives to the paint by Newman. Lob dunk inside to the freshman. And then cut to the basket right there by Jaden Ivey, freshman. Then the inside-outside. When you're scoring inside, the defense collapses, and then the three-point shots are available. They're 5 of 7 from three-point range.
And look at this first half of his first game for the tallest player in Purdue history, Zak Edey. 9 points on 4-4 shooting and a couple rebounds as well. Wow. Coach, I love it. His feet. I mean, the way he moves for a guy that big is impressive.
Yes, very impressive. And he weighs 285 pounds. He's 7'4", and he's only been playing basketball for a couple of years. So his future is extremely bright, and it's good to see a guy like that have success in his first game.
Second half is underway here from the Titan Fieldhouse on the Eastern Florida State College campus, Melbourne, Florida. Here's Williams trying to get his first field goal of the game, and he misfires on the righty jump hook in the paint.
They immediately went to him because he did not have a productive first half. He made some nice passes, but he is having trouble scoring one-on-one against the post defenders from Liberty, which to me is shocking.
Here's Parker with a drive. Williams 0 for 4 from the field. Has 1 point. Does have 5 rebounds, 4 assists to his credit so far. Off the glass, up and in for Preston.
I'll tell you what, Preston is going to be an all-league player if he keeps playing like this against the quality competition that he's playing against here. 2 top teams in the ASUN are the ones you're looking at, and Lipscomb, those 2.
Williams the touch. There's a fake we saw. The beginning of the broadcast, the red and green arrows. You fake is red and the green means go, and he has his first field goal of the game.
Well, I'll tell you what, you know, Matt Painter says we're not going to win many games if he's going to have that kind of a half. So we have to go to him, get him some touches, and get his confidence going.
Road can't click from long range. Stefanovic the rebound for Purdue. Newman had a really good start to the game and a good start to the second half.
He redshirted last year, and I'll tell you what, he wants to play big time. And right there, he has shot from the perimeter, he has driven to the basket, and he made a fantastic block on a breakaway fast break in the first half. He's been the MVP so far for his team.
Rejection down low. Aaron Wheeler is displeased.
Travion, post up. Get as close to the basket as you can. He fakes one way, goes the other with the jump hook. And finally, he is on the scoreboard.
A foul was called on Wheeler for Purdue, the junior from Stamford, Connecticut. And it sends Parker, the transfer from Henderson State, to the free throw line. 3 points in the game so far for Chris Parker. He's a senior, so one-year player for Richie McKay and Liberty this year.
Yeah, and starting right away, and that's a big thing for them. And he is a guy who has a scorer's mentality, and so far doing very, very well against the Big Ten team. Isaiah Thompson, a distributor, more than a scorer, averaged 5 points a game last year.
Overplay. Blake Preston read that perfectly, and it turns it right back over the Flames.
Preston's doing a really, really good job in here. Physical player.
McGee misfires from three, rattles out on Darius McGee, three-point ace of Liberty. Stefanovic in the paint, hangs, but it's short. Williams trying to get a handle rebound, but McGee under 6 feet has the defensive glass for Liberty. Preston runs the floor nicely and is fouled by Travion Williams of Purdue.
The run out is something that Liberty is going to do this year. They would like to play a little bit faster. The push right here by Parker and the catch nicely done. And drawing the foul right here is Preston as he goes to the line. 6'9". He's third year playing, and he is a physical player.
Out of Charlotte, North Carolina, the foul coach on Williams was his second. So Preston, Richie McKay said, had a great preseason as Williams takes a seat with the 2 fouls. So 2 fouls now on Zak Edey, the 7'4" freshman, and 2 on Travion Williams of Purdue.
Well, you think about Preston at 6'9", and you think about Abi at 6'8" and about 260. That's a pretty good center combination for Liberty in the Atlantic Sun, for sure.
Unsuccessful trip to the free throw line that time for Blake Preston. And Purdue is on the move here.
Inexperience in the backcourt for Purdue. When Hunter comes back, he is out with a tibia fracture.
Oh man, perfection continues for Zak Edey, coach. How about this young guy?
I like
another shot.
I like that. Perfection continues.
He's perfect to begin his Purdue career.
Indeed.
5 for 5 from the field, 11 points for Zak Edey, who played baseball, played hockey, more than he played basketball growing up in Toronto.
Defensively, he's got to keep his hands up.
There's McGee for 3.
Most important thing for a guy his size. 6 for 17 in the first half from 3 for the Flames. So 33%, 32%.
Stefanovic, coach up top, splashes a deep 3. Got a straight on look at it and swishes the triple from long range.
I think he needs more touches. He hasn't touched the ball a lot in this game so far. He is a 6'5", 38% shooter from 3 in the Big Ten. So this guy is the most experienced player out there, really, when you think about it. He needs more touches, number 55 in white. Dribble, handoff, and then look inside to the post. This is nice offense. And Edey scores again on a turnaround jumper in low. You know, he has a good combination of power and finesse at the same time, and doesn't get too high. He's got kind of a stoic approach to the game so far.
Traveling call, Parker, you saw a moment ago. I'm going to challenge you here, coach, with a question. When was the last time you saw a big like this? There's up top, a long shot. Cranford in there for Purdue from 3. How about Mason Gillis? You're asking me about him at halftime. How much has he played? Well, he's back on the court for Purdue and hits the 3 off the glass. The banks are open in Melbourne, Florida. Drives the basket for 2 and conversion for McGee.
Mason Gillis has not played in a long time. He got hurt as a junior in high school and hasn't played since in a real game. This is his first game in, like, I don't know how many, 985 days. How about that?
Edey's first miss as a Boilermaker. In the paint. All right, so my question was, and we'll get back to Gillis' story, it's fascinating too. Last time you saw a big guy move like this and with that kind of touch. I mean, he's 7'4".
Yeah. I don't know. You think way back to the kid who played at BYU years and years ago. He was 7'5". Now Harms, who played last year for Purdue, was similar to this. You know, he could move the ball, he could shoot from the outside. So it's a tradition at Purdue for the big guys. 52-41 Oilers.
8 Eastern. More great college basketball coming your way here on CBS Sports Network. Space Coast Challenge here in Melbourne, Florida. Clemson, Mississippi State. Clemson won 16 last year. 9th place in the ACC. Mississippi State won 20 for Ben Howland. 4th place in the Southeastern Conference. 11-7 in league play. They've won 20 or more 3 straight years under Coach Howland. And Ben Howland telling us this week, Coach, via Zoom, how disappointing it was. They had earned the double bye in the SEC tournament. Things were looking great, and then COVID shut it all down.
Yeah, and 2 of the players left early and were drafted in the 2nd round, Perry and Woodard, and Perry to the Nets and Woodard to Sacramento Kings.
So new faces, new places in this game and certainly in the next game as well. As McGee misses the first free throw and hits number 2.
You notice on the sideline, I'm sorry, Dave, on the sideline we have social distancing with the bench. You know, there's no bench, there are chairs, and players and coaches are spread out.
Good defense, McGee, who was in the double figures tonight. And the turnover gives the Flames the ball right back here. I do like that social distancing, Coach. A lot of room here.
Makes sense. They've done a very, very good job in this tournament. The players are tested every day. Things are run very, very smoothly. It's nice to see. Newman on D. Gillis, physical, on D.
Here's McGee. Has another 3. He's got 3 triples tonight. He had been struggling from long range. 3 of 11 now from beyond the arc. And it's a 7-point game here in Melbourne.
Well, it's interesting because he's playing off the ball with Parker, the new player, taking over the ball handling duties. He can move without it and stay on the perimeter.
Edey, the rebound over a B, and he lays it in. There's a whistle right after the bucket.
When you're 7-4 and a shot goes up, get close in. Right here, I thought he got fouled by a B there, and no call from what we see. Don't know what the whistle was about. You know, some people think that Edey is sort of like Taco Fall, but
7'6".
Yeah, but size-wise they're similar. But Edey is a much more accomplished player. Taco Fall with the Celtics was just kind of a dunk or nothing. This guy, I mean, has skill and has offensive abilities that Taco Fall did not have. But size-wise, he's there.
Offensive foul called on Ivy this time of Purdue after Red Star continuing here for Edey. 6 of 7 from the field, 13 points. Does have a few rebounds as well to his credit. First foul called on Jaden Ivey.
No, I thought that was the second. Didn't he have a charge in the first half as well? Or maybe
you are correct, sir. Make it 2.
Yeah. I think both of them offensive fouls. He has a scorer's mentality and a take it to the basket mentality, but he's so young. This is his first game, so he's made a couple of errors on judgment as when to go and when not to go. But he's also made some very good offensive plays. So you're going to live with that with a guy like him with his talent.
McGee step back 3, everything but go down. Rattled that on Mason Gillis. First game he's played, and Coach talked about 985 days. Overplay a B, and a foul called. Mason Gillis is the 2nd longest stint without playing a game. The first Middle Tennessee, DeAndre Dishman, Coach, 1,005 days.
Wow.
Between games for him.
That's an eternity for a basketball player.
Just great to see him back in the court.
But look at Gillis. I mean, he has got a great basketball body. Very, very strong. And he goes with an aggressive nature. He's going to be a contributor, but not having played in so long, he hit a bank shot from 3 from the top of the
He'll take it, Bob. He'll gladly take it. Banks are open in Melbourne. That was around 6:30 Eastern time. Stefanovic too strong. Inbounds play, corner jumper. So for Gillis, who tore his ACL at an AAU game in 2018, missed his senior year, and still trying to get things going with Purdue after redshirting last year. Hence all those days between games for Mason Gillis.
Good cut right there, but good help side defense also by Stefanovic.
Gillis to handle. Here's Ivey. Elbow jumper is perfect.
Well, I'll tell you, he hit a shot in the first half where he got fouled and he took it, and the pull-up jumper, you know, most of the time we're seeing guys shoot 3s or layups. The medium range shots are not a lost art, but not a lot of guys do it. He is one who will.
What a debut for another freshman for Purdue. It's not just Zak Edey. But Jaden Ivey has been spectacular tonight. Cuppy in the corner, hits a three. First points of the game for the senior southpaw. A deep three, much needed for Liberty. Timeout in Melbourne, Florida. Boilermakers up 56-48. First of two games, Titan Fieldhouse, Melbourne, Florida, here on CBS Sports Network. Space Coast Challenge opening up the 2020-21 college basketball season. Dave Ryan, Bob Wenzel with you. Watching Purdue in the Big Ten take on Liberty of the A-Sun. Good basketball game here so far. Freshmen have been a huge story for each side. Right now, keep in mind that Micaiah B does have 3 fouls, so on the bench currently for Liberty. Rebound, Edey just cleans up. He's 7-4. Look out below. No one can rebound this guy. He's got another dunk.
I'll tell you what was interesting about that play, and hopefully we'll show that to you. The lob was way too high and it hit the rim. He knew not to jump for that and got the rebound instead. Good D here by Ivey. But we have Ivey and Edey doing a terrific job. Now take a look at him underneath the basket. It hits the rim, so he waits. He doesn't jump up. He waits until the ball is at the peak where only he can get it. He's surrounded by 5 guys in red, pivots and makes the play anyway. Very, very impressive.
Second foul a moment ago, Bob, on Elijah Cuppy. So here we're checking some boxes with Zak Edey so far, right? 7'4", tallest player Purdue history. Can move, great footwork, great hands, and oh, by the way, as you mentioned, basketball IQ too.
Yeah.
This is not a project you're going to develop over years. This player is game ready now as a freshman. What a story for the 7'4" center. I'm impressed.
Clearly, and I think anybody watching is impressed also. I think the three-point shooting has been so accurate, but not as frequent for Purdue. The three-point shooting for Liberty is going to be more, and I think Darius McGee needs to get more touches because he is very confident from there.
3-point numbers there. You see him 9 of 23 for Liberty. Foul a moment ago on Mason Gillis.
How about 8 for 11? 8 for 11 wins games, 58-48. Darius McGee from 3. Jumpers mid-range, coming off screens off the baseline. And here is a Seth Curry move. And just in case you didn't know, Seth Curry started his career at Liberty, then transferred to Duke, and now he's in the NBA. This guy has some range, and that last one where he passes and follows his own pass, 3 for 12 from three-point range, but they need him to make some shots from there.
On the socially distanced bench, at least for now. McDowell miss. Preston, really good fight down low for the rebound. Foul called. That is number 3.
And here comes Williams. Williams, number 50, coming in for Edey. This is a good post combination with those two. Now, Matt Painter has not played them together so far in this game, and I doubt that he will early in the season. But as the season progresses, Williams right there, all Big Ten performer, having a less than stellar game here. And Edey on the right, the freshman, who no one really knew much about. The two of them together in Big Ten games, I can see it happening.
Already 17 fouls, Bob, against Purdue. So the front end miss, Preston 1-1. And Williams back in the game here. It's been a struggle so far for him tonight. 3 points on 1 of 5 shooting. Passed in tight, and Thompson can't convert, but he does have some free throws coming up for Purdue.
Thompson, 18 minutes per game last year. Probably going to be about the same this year with the arrival of some freshman guards. Cerebral type, give it up, pass first, point guard. Averaged nearly 6 points a game last year. So far in this game, not much of a factor offensively, but that's typical of his game. I think he will be important as the minutes wear on here with his defense on Chris Parker or McGee.
Foul coach was on Cuffey, his second. We talked about Eric Hunter being out with the compression fracture of his knee. No structural or ligament damage. Does have the surgery to recover from, hoping to get him back within 6 weeks at this point. Matt Painter was optimistic. as Thompson hits the free throw.
Well, he had 30 starts last year, and he had more minutes than any player on the team, and he's a 6'4" guard. So he would have been a guy who plays the whole game, literally.
Coffee drives, can't convert the lefty runner. And Ethan Morton is recovering from mononucleosis. So a couple key guys Purdue hopes to get back within the time frame of the abbreviated Big Ten schedule each year if Ivy misfires.
Yeah, and Ethan Morton is a freshman, but he's from the Pittsburgh area, Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, Player of the Year in Pennsylvania. That is saying something.
Parker can't convert, but a steal. McGee read that perfectly. The pick and the lay-in for Darius McGee.
A little bit of a lazy cross-court pass that time by Purdue. What we have to remind ourselves about is this is the first game of the year for all of these guys, and you mentioned a bunch of freshmen playing, but also practices have been interrupted. The COVID situation is taking its toll on all kind of practice situations. Nice three right there, man. Thompson stepping up.
Second three of the game for Isaiah Thompson.
They are hot from three-point range, but they are an inside-outside team. Very rarely is Purdue going to come down and jack a three.
Abee finally gets going. There'll be 3 fouls. Micaiah Abee has been silent in this second half, but he continues his perfect debut for Liberty.
How about that guy being a 2-star player? Man, I'll tell you what, he's going to be a scourge in the Atlantic Sun.
Ooh, good one. Scourge. Ivy, the freshman, drives and gets a roll. Another one for Jaden Ivey. Freshman night here in Melbourne, Florida, Bob.
I'll tell you what, Jaden Ivey, as talented as he is, he could take more shots per minute than any guy on Purdue this year.
Abee already hit 1 3, hits another. Wow, long range shot for Micaiah Abee. What a start, 7 for 7, and that makes 3 for 3 from beyond the arc. And now 4 triples second half for Liberty.
That's unbelievable. When we talked to Coach McKay, and there's another lazy pass.
Parker, McGee, the backcourt for Liberty, trying to click again, and a foul called. I should mention that Ethan Morton has overcome mono and is playing here tonight, getting his second run of the game.
Yeah. Hasn't been in that much and hasn't really practiced that much. He's number 25 in white, and they're expecting a lot from him. He's the guy who's a good passer.
Coming up next, College Hoops have returned. We have all the intel, predictions, and results from college basketball around the country. Inside college basketball on CBS Sports Network. That is next. It is opening night. Opening day, too, Bob. A lot of games happening this afternoon. And tonight, we talked about so many top 25 teams in action. Michigan scoring a lot of points in their first game. Luka guards and Iowa getting started as well. Who's your team to beat right now? Gonzaga?
Nationally? Well, you know, they're number 1 in most of the polls.
Right.
Baylor's really good. You know, the teams that you would expect. Duke and Kentucky and Virginia. And, you know, Michigan State's going to be very good. The thing with Michigan State is Rocket Watts takes over as the point guard. Cassius Winston's been in that role for so many years. So they're going to look different. Wisconsin's solid.
There's Williams, and there's the hammer for Trevion Williams. Maybe that's how you get your star going.
Yeah, and interestingly, it wasn't a post-up, right? It was a move off the high post because they have done a great job guarding him in the low post. So maybe move away, make a cut or two. Nice adjustment.
Only his second made field goal of the game. Parker weaving through traffic. McDowell, McGee, corner, 3-ball rattle out. Look at a B battle, but he throws away the pass.
Newman's doing a very, very good job here, offensively and defensively.
Wheeler, whoa, way off on a 3, and then Williams gets too physical with Elijah Cuffey.
Let's take a look at Trevion moving without the basketball. Right here, he comes up to the top of the key. His man denies, and he slides right through, and an easy basket for him. That's a better play for him in this game rather than posting up. Posting up is his normal strength. Did not like that last shot in terms of selection by Wheeler from deep, deep in the corner. Not a good look for him.
Three fouls coach on Williams. Front end 1-1. Elijah Cuffey can't convert. And it's right back to the Boiler.
Interesting, with 8 minutes to go, Williams is going to stay in the game, and the reason for that is Edey has played so well as a freshman that Painter does not worry about Edey being in the game at the end.
Stefanovic rejected Williams to clean up and lays it up and in.
Being in the right place at the right time, scoring some ways that were a little unusual for him. I'm impressed with Newman, number 5 for Purdue. Hadn't played last year, and he's doing a really solid job. Again, a nice play by Newman with his hands on D right there. Terrific job. Stefanovic tells him all about it. 68-57, Boilermakers in control. Three-point shooting for the Boilermakers have been impressive. 8 for 13 from downtown. 6 different players making threes in this game. That is very, very good news, and my new favorite player, Newman, among them. Three-point shooting is very, very valuable, and when you shoot at a 61% clip, that is going to win a lot of games.
Our stats ace Mike Freer tells us Purdue last year 11-2 when they made 8 or more threes in a game, and we just talked about 8 triples tonight in this one in Melbourne, Florida. On the Space Coast. Now, you're in Jacksonville on the First Coast or the Treasure Coast? Which coast are you on in Jacksonville?
First coast.
First coast. Yeah. Space Coast in Melbourne in the Central Park. A lot of different coasts in this great state of Florida. Sunshine State. Bob and I are residents.
A lot of water.
You've been here longer than I have. It's great. This time of year, man, can't beat it. Here's fantastic. Drive off the mark this time from Newman, who has played so well tonight. Cuffey, defensive glass. Here comes Parker and Liberty. Trying to cut into the lead here of the Boilermakers.
Well, this game is still very much in doubt right here, and the three-point shooting has been not as good for the Liberty Flames because of the solid defense by the Boilermakers in this one. And right here, this is terrific defense on a very quick guard.
McDowell corner feed from McGee, but he can't convert. Rebound for Williams, who now has double-figure boards tonight. That was his 10th rebound of the night.
Credit to Stefanovic on that last play, defending against McGee. Really a quick player. Stayed in front of him.
Williams and Wheeler two-man game is broken up. McGee has just been fantastic tonight. What a debut for this guy. Perfect from the field. 7 of 7, 3 of 3 from beyond the arc, and 17 points, 3 rebounds for Micaiah Abi. The A-Sun watching this game closely tonight will put him on the scout for sure, as they will, of course, with McGee, who hits another long three-pointer. He's got 4 triples in the game.
Well, he's missed a lot of threes, but he's made some threes, and as I mentioned before, he's going to be the guy down the stretch. They've got it to 8 right now, so closing quickly. Now, how will Purdue handle when somebody changes momentum like that?
21 for McGee tonight. The other end, missed fire for Thompson. Rebound again for Liberty. Down by 8 all of a sudden with 5.5 to go in the second half.
Almost amount of time left in this one.
Parker, first game as a Flame. Brand new look Liberty team this year, but McGee, we know, will be tough to stop once the A-Sun starts. As will this guy. It's the first miss of the night. What a foul called. Elbow jumper from a B. And some free throws on the way. Williams got a little arm in vision of the ball.
Little smile by Travion on this one. Notice McGee moving without the basketball and then with the ball. This is great defense right here. Sasha doing a terrific, terrific job. Catch and shoot. Bottom.
Wow. Quick release. 4 fouls, coach, on Travion Williams at Purdue.
Well, let's see if he's going to come out. He's going to come out. A lot of time left in this one, and thankfully Edey is being a player of very much of an impact. When I talked to Matt Painter the other day about the center situation, because they have been pretty much, you know, 2 centers the last 7-8 years, 1 7-footer and either Swanigan or Williams in there. And with Williams only averaging 21 minutes a game last year, this is a new thing for him. Even though he's a highly touted player, it's new. He's going to have to play more than that this year. And the foul trouble is going to rear its head occasionally, like it has right now.
4 fouls Williams, 3 Edey, and Abid takes a much well-deserved break with his perfect night continuing as he hits the free throws. Stefanovic up top, dialed in 3.
This is the time of the game when if you're ahead, that's the guy you need to have shooting. Because you need to get quality shots with guys who can make shots, no bad shots to your team if you're ahead at the end of a game like this.
Cut, McGee, but he can't convert. And the rebound for Edey at 7-4. Stefanovic has 3 threes in the game tonight. And 92 for his career, but he's feeding this time to Edey. And down it goes again. He makes it look easy at 7-4. Zak Edey, the hammer again for Purdue.
Well, that's 2 possessions in a row when the game was to 8, where Sasha hits a 3 and Edey gets a close-in shot dunk. That is what you want from offense when you're ahead late in the game.
Purdue basketball.
Let's take a look at the pass. Inside, you play on his high side, he's just going to spin. That was an easy one. But you also have to credit Edey with catching the basketball, you know, and to his teammates throwing it to him above his shoulders. When you throw a pass low to a 7'4" guy, that's asking for trouble. And I have not seen one pass like that from a Purdue player to Edey in this game.
17 points, 8 of 9 shooting in the debut for Zak Edey. If you listen hard enough, you can hear the fans of West Lafayette cheering to our studio here in Florida. I mean, it is what a sensational start. Here's the handle right on cue and a foul first, because defending this guy is no easy matter.
Edey at 7'4", Dave Ryan's favorite player. He goes hard in there. Nice pass also by Stefanovic.
Space Coast Challenge resuming more basketball tonight. Clemson, Mississippi State, ACC, SEC head-to-head at 8 Eastern here on CBS Sports Network. And the consolation game will be first, and the championship game 8:30 Eastern tomorrow night. So in all, 4 games. Ben Howland's big message when we talked to him via Zoom, Bob, this week: you don't want to be the team leaving 0-2. You want to at least get 1 win early. And he makes a good point. Abbreviated season with the non-conference season reduced due to COVID and so many scheduling adjustments. Edey had that one knocked out of bounds, and 4 to shoot here for Purdue.
I am impressed with Purdue. When the game was to 8 and Liberty had some momentum, they got a quality shot by their best 3-point shooter, and then on the next possession, the shooter and the best big man in the game for Matt Painter were on the same side. So very intelligent offense by them when they needed it most.
Richard McKay told us this week in our Zoom with him, Stefanovic will launch a long 3-shot clock violation against Purdue at the end of the shot clock cycle. He wasn't sure who was going to step up. So my question to you, Bob, is who can get it going offensively beyond McGee for Liberty?
Well, you know, I mean, Cuffey is not an offensive player, and Abi has been a guy, but you need it to be a perimeter player. So it's probably going to be Parker. And I think he's got the scorer's mentality, number 1, and number 2, the 2 smallest guys on the floor, are going to do the creating for sure.
On cue, Parker to McDowell. Here's McGee, and a big night for Liberty so far, but 3 to go here in regulation. Liberty's got to get it cranking soon. Parker, the step back 3, airborne and short. Battle and a fight. Kyle Rode. Wheeler, that was something.
The shot goes up. It's rebounded on the weak side. Both guys going after it. Jump ball situation.
Liberty basketball.
So the clock resets to 20.
Arrow to Liberty, and then 20 to shoot.
And the shot clock was down to 6, so a good opportunity right here for the Flames.
Here's Rode. Just had that good 1-2 play a moment ago. Step back 3, Liberty needs it, can't convert. Weak side rebound, Stefanovic. And Purdue's got the rock again here.
Stefanovic has really shown his experience late in the game here, the last 5 or 6 minutes. moving without the ball, making shots.
Parker, great hustle on the overplay, saves it, but it goes right to Wheeler. And then a bump foul called as Rode comes together with Thompson.
You can steal passes from the wing to the top of the key if you're alert. Liberty is well schooled in that area by Richie McKay. They have stolen the ball 3 or 4 times on passes from the wing to the top of the key, and those things turn into breakaway layups.
6 steals in the game for Liberty so far, Bob. Situational substitution, it looks like, with 4 fouls for Micaiah Abee, who has just been incredible tonight with 19 points on 7 of 7 shooting.
I am watching Stefanovic in all of these things that aren't in the game. You know, when guys come to the sideline, he pats them on the back, gives them 5, gives them a little encouragement. And here's that step-through play that Liberty is so good at. But I am really impressed. I think Sasha is going to be a very, very important player this year in his role, and I think his role is going to be expanded.
Officials looking at the clock here, Bob. Make sure the timing is right. It's 2:47 when the ball's out of bounds.
See right here, talking to his teammates.
I'm with you, yeah.
You know, this is a sideline out of bounds play. They don't happen that much. Got to be careful on the inbounds pass that no one steals it, and then get into your set. No hurry, because they had 30 on the shot clock.
Wheeler up top. Here's Edey. The touch. Yes, he's got the touch in the paint. The little jump hook with the right hand, and he gets the roll. So check into the box in terms of shooter's touch for Zak Edey. Wow, what a debut. 19 points tonight. Here's McDowell, long range 3. Front iron miss. And Purdue able to pull it down with Brandon Newman. And the Boilers in great shape here, up by 13 with just over 2 to go in the second half.
Ball handling at a premium. Let the other team foul you. Don't make any chancy passes like that.
Didn't like that, huh? Thompson kicked out 3, rattles out. Edey a hand on it, battles at 7-4. And McGee eventually, with the hustle, has the rebound. The one-out offensive foul. Stefanovic, well, Bob just said it. What a great team guy he is, draws the short.
Yeah. Stefanovic has really been terrific in this game. And early in the game, he wasn't getting many touches, but made shots anyway. Experience matters a lot, and this is experience right here. A quicker player coming right at you. He's able to step in and take the charge. And Darius McGee is some quick guy, I can tell you that. Looks like he's turning his ankle or knee right there, and Dobbs comes in his place.
2 fouls, Darius McGee of Liberty. With just over 90 ticks to go on our fading second half clock. Wheeler the touch up top. Newman, top of the key jumper. Short this time, front iron miss. McDowell the rebound. Here's Elijah Cuffey, preseason ASUN Defensive Player of the Year. And on a lefty foul. Long drought for Liberty. Time now for the Adventist Health play of the game. It's all about the freshman Zak Edey, Bob.
Watch this intelligence. He doesn't jump because he knows the ball's going to hit the rim, and he waits until it comes off and keeps the ball up so 5 red jerseys can't steal it away from him. This guy has talent, he has ability, he's coachable. And I'll tell you what a welcome addition. You know, last year when Harms transferred to BYU, I was really wondering what was going to happen with the 2-center system that Painter so obviously uses. And this guy is filling that role beautifully.
Deserves a chest bump or 2. With the game he's had tonight. And he takes a seat with 19 points, 9 of 10 shooting, and 5 rebounds, 15 minutes and 19 points, shooting 90% for the freshman Zak Edey from Toronto, Ontario, in the IMG Academy. Cuffey, 1 more free throw, and gets that one to rattle in. I'm sold. I mean, it's 1 game of his career. What a start. What a start. What a start. No question. Dobbs in the game with McGee. A little banged up, we saw a moment ago, and a foul called on the freshman from Minnesota, Eden Prairie. One of the Vikings practice facility. Drake Dobbs. I might just be a lifelong Viking fan. Tough one with Dallas last weekend. Had been on a roll, though. Kirk Cousins finally won a Monday night game, Coach. Had been 0-10, I believe, Monday night starts. You a Jags fan?
I follow him.
Yeah.
It's hard to admit that.
Tough this year. Pretty tough. Thompson the handle. Just over a minute left in regulation here at the Titan Fieldhouse in Melbourne, Florida. First game, Space Coast Challenge. Clemson, Mississippi State still to follow here on CBS Sports Network tonight. I missed that. Good matchup. Stefanovic, left side three. This time followed. Doug Wheeler up high with the hammer. How about Aaron Wheeler of Purdue? Exclamation point.
When you hear that buzzer, you keep playing. You teach your players that the buzzer does not stop the play, the whistle stops the play. And right here, no block out, and that's a nice one. Very, very easy by Wheeler. And of course, 6'9" helps. Right here, the miss and the dunk. Edey on the sideline, jumping out of his seat, cheering his teammate along. The shot clock started late. That's what our problem is.
Checking the clock here in our final moments of game one. But I love that coaching tip, Bob. Whistle, not the buzzer. That's awesome.
Well, that's right. That's what kids need to learn about. And, you know, sometimes you see a situation, the buzzer goes off and the guy stops and play continues. So the shot clock is off here. I mean, the shot clock is not off. The shot clock is in error. Game clock on the left, shot clock on the right. Okay, it goes through. Shot clock should reset. See, and it missed a couple of beats there. Should be lower.
We'll get this straightened out. Should read 45.1 seconds, as it does, and we're ready to resume here in Melbourne.
Sideline out of bounds play. You try to execute these, not particularly for this game, but you know, there may be a game down the road where you need a shot right at the end.
Dobbs the drive, freshman can't hit. Williams has a rebound. This is 11th of the night, go along with 7 points with 30 seconds to go in the first game here from Eastern Florida State College.
So even though Travion has not had a good offensive game, 11 boards works. Coming up next, you mentioned Clemson, Mississippi State. Ben Howland, Brad Brownell, they are enthusiastic about their teams for this season. Mississippi State, 2 players drafted in the second round, Reggie Perry and Robert Woodard, and of course Amir Sims of Clemson.
Can't wait to watch him, Coach. That's going to be fun.
One of the top players in the Atlantic Coast Conference. So this is going to be an exciting game, the next one.
Liberty will play in the consolation game. Purdue will play for the championship tomorrow night. Parker had a block by Williams. Final moments. Back for Parker. Rattles out. That will do it. First game of 2021 goes to Purdue 77-64. And the freshman Zak Edey was a big storyline coming up next. Inside college basketball. We'll be back to Titan Fieldhouse for that game Bob talked about with Clemson, Mississippi State, the second of the semifinals. Now for Bob Wenzel and the entire crew in Melbourne and in Fort Lauderdale, it's Dave Ryan saying so long for now. It's sitting out of the studio for Inside College Basketball. Then we'll have Clemson and Mississippi State. Game 2 for the Space Coast Challenge.